Today on the table I have a M1A National Match. So when you purchase this rifle, what is it going to come with? One, you get a 10-round Communist magazine. A beautiful soft case. This one, actually the zipper's broken because when the guy brought it out to me to shoot it, we accidentally shot the case because we were using it as a rest. Normally that's not an issue. It does have a point so you can put the two zippers together and lock it. Then it's going to come with an old M14 manual. Your owner's manual, some various tags, and then a little sticker that says not legal in California, which I have no idea how this rifle is not legal in California because it should be. As far as I know, M1As are legal there as long as it don't have like a telescoping stock or anything like that. There must be some new law or something I'm not aware of that makes this rifle illegal in California. The rifle has an overall length of 44.5 inches with a length of pull of 13 inches. This thing is a beast. Now I took it out shooting the other day, but I was just having a bad day at the range. I don't know why, I couldn't think clearly. I think a lot of it had to do with my shoulder. I threw it out somehow or something, maybe watching too many internet videos, but right here where I put the rifle, the pain is quite excruciating. So I think it was clouding my judgment. I only brought 12 rounds to the range. I'm like, alright, I'll use 3 to throw a down and dirty 0 on it, and then I'll go to 200 and I'll adjust my 0. Which normally, that would work out. Unfortunately, my adjustments weren't very good. So this was my first shot. I'm like, okay, I'm low, and I'm to the left, so let's adjust. This is my second shot. You know, okay, I got the elevation pretty close, so let's adjust more left. Well, because I wasn't thinking clearly, my third shot when I decided to down and dirty 0 on it was, because I was aiming right in here, about 2 inches low. So why does that matter at 25 yards? Because you have to take it by a factor of 8. So to go from 25 to 100, your variance are going to be 4 times greater. So 2 times 4, that would be 8 inches I would be off. Now, we're going to 200, so that needs to be times by 0. 16 inches right here. So I'm 16 inches low. And then I'm 1 inch off to the right. So 4, so 8 inches. So I was hitting somewhere down in here. And like I said, I wasn't thinking clearly, so I couldn't figure it out. I had too small of a target and not enough ammunition to get on target. I was looking at the splashes behind the target, trying to guesstimate where I was hitting. Alright, there was too many holes in the target to know exactly where I shot, but looking at the splash in the dirt, it looks like I need to go right and up. But I moved my target to a spot where it'll be easier to see. Definitive, I think this might be one of my shots. These are my 3 splashes in the back. I definitely need to go more right and more up. So I started correcting. I eventually got the left and right good. But then on my last string of 3, I really wanted to hit, so I threw too much elevation on there because I was getting impatient. And I just wanted some rounds on paper so I could get a good idea of what this rifle will shoot for accuracy. And I overcompensated, and then I started going over top of the target. And had one shot on the pipe right here. I don't have a freaking clue where the other ones went. Just goes to show you. Do your initial zeroing at close range before you go out to distance. Now, when I was comparing this rifle against the Scar, I was trying to describe the recoil, but I wasn't quite doing it right. I was in the right ballpark, but So, alright, now that I've shot this a little bit more, I think I can better describe what the recoil's like. See, with the Scar, the rifle's really light, and your bolt carrier is really, really heavy. So the recoil, you get a violent, quick snap to the rear, and then a violent, quick snap forward. And it's hard to keep your front sight on target. You know, when you're walking around, that's just fine, because you're typically closer to your target, and you're not throwing your sights off that much, if that makes any sense. So the Scar is great for walking around. But in a fixed position, it throws you all over the place, especially when you're shooting at ranges like 300 yards or so. So it takes a little bit to get back on target. Now, what I was describing wrong is this doesn't have less recoil, it's a different type of recoil. So you're lacking the muzzle brake. So there's more kinetic energy being built up because you have the thrust of the air coming out. This kind of works as a muzzle brake, but not very well, because in national match ones, they make a really big bore in the center. Somehow that's supposed to help with accuracy. I'm not an engineer, so we'll just go with that. And the rifle's heavier, so the kinetic energy is different. Where the Scar is like a quick snap, this is like a real hard push. But because you don't have, the bolt carrier is much lighter, when the bolt comes forward, there's not as much forward snap. Basically, so at a fixed position, yes, this does put more kinetic energy into my body, but it's a different type of kinetic energy. It's more controllable because it's just a harder push. I can get back on target, so if I'm shooting at a range, something that's far away, I can throw rounds downrange accurately quicker with the M1A over the Scar just because the recoil's different. The Scar is more snappy, so it throws your sights around more. This is, in fact, putting more kinetic energy into my body, but it's more controllable. It's more predictable. Like, the push comes back and I can go right back on and shoot again.
How do you think that happened?
May I shoot for groups later as I start.
Now, the balance of this rifle is actually really good. It's almost perfect for a magwell hold. This is ideal in case you're standing and shooting. Now, I know what everyone's about to comment right now. No, you gotta go thumb over bore, this way you can just hammer down those rounds. Well, you can't with an M1A. Because the sight radius is so low, you put your thumb on here, you can't see through the peep. All you see is thumb. Not ideal for your high-speed tactical operator shooters on the public range, but realistically, I mean, we're talking about a 308. Yes, I could really hammer down if a target's that close to me, but it doesn't really matter. The little bit of movement I'm getting, I should have no problems compensating and getting rounds on target. What this type of rifle for is from a fixed position. taking a single shot into a target. Because let's be realistic, we're talking about a 7.62 by 51. A 30 caliber bullet, damn near 200 grains, flying at plus 2,000 feet per second. There is nowhere on your body where you're going to take one of those, even if it's your finger, where you're not going to be like, that really hurt. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. You know, you win. I'm just going to go home now. And somebody have a Band-Aid. My finger's bleeding pretty bad. Because it's going to take your finger off. You don't have to get really accurate fire with a 308. I'd call any shot, anywhere, an effective shot from a 308 or a 7.62 by 51. Now, because this is a national match model, it does use a stainless steel barrel. I'm told the actions are bedded in. I have not cracked this open and looked at it, but judging by the setup of the rifle, the shots I was seeing, the splashes in the dirt, I suspect this rifle will be about 1.5 MOA to 2 MOA. Yeah, most definitely, I could throw a pile of money in this rifle and make it sub-MOA or 1 MOA, but just pulling this off the shelf, no modifications, just running it the way it is, you should probably expect about 1.5 to 2 MOA. Now, I was going to do my preliminary accuracy testing today, but I got to where I was shooting. I'm actually wearing swimming trunks because it looked like rain. I'm like, okay, I'm really going to get wet. Like, it's going to pour any second now. But I forgot the ammunition. Now, my way back to go get the ammunition, that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, I can't do accuracy testing today. Now, with the humidity so high and it's about to rain, because this has a wood stock. When the wood starts getting affected by humidity or it gets wet, it swells and your zero is going to change. Your accuracy is not going to be consistent to what it would be on a dry day. So that is something you have to think about. This rifle, yes, on a fixed position, in a pinch, most definitely, raining or not, I could get rounds on target. But you have to remember you are using a wood rifle, or a wood stock rifle, so it does have its limitations. Moisture is one of them. I'm glad I forgot the ammunition. Otherwise, I would have been scratching my head a couple of days from now wondering why my zero changed and why my accuracy was all messed up. Would I buy this rifle? You know, that's a tough question. I really love national match rifles. As a matter of fact, the way it's looking, I'm going to have an M1 Garand national match rifle very, very quickly here. And I like the ability that these can really throw rounds on target. But they're only really good from a fixed position. Yeah, I mean, a mountain of a man, or if I was in a true pinch, I could sling this bad boy up and I could stalk deer with it, run some sort of patrol, whatever. But there are so many better options out there. For example, like the Scar. A good AR-10 that's not like almost 10 pounds that you didn't throw a bunch of crap on. But in a pinch, most definitely I could use this for those types of jobs. But this is made for shooting from a fixed position. And it does it really well. I think the platform as itself lends itself well to shooting from a fixed position. So would I buy this rifle? If I found a job for it. Now remember, these are not good for scopes at all. Because the sight radius is so low, they have the stock cut low, so if you put a scope on here, your cheek weld's all screwed up. When it comes to scopes, cheek weld is everything. Consistency, consistency, consistency. If you can't get a good cheek weld, you will never get good consistent accuracy downrange with the scope. So you'd have to cut the stock, put elevators in here and raise the stock up, or buy one that's already got an adjustable stock or something like that. Or you could do like those Marines did and just take a sleeping mat and a shit ton of duct tape and just wrap it up and build your cheek weld up that way. So if I can find a job, like I want to actually shoot national match with this, or I'm like, okay, I don't have a good rifle from shooting from 300 to 500 yards from a fixed position. This would be like the 300 to 500 yard version of the Black 13. Then yeah, I would most definitely buy it. If those aren't a factor, probably not. But usually, I mean, who doesn't need a 300 to 500 yard rapid fire? I wouldn't. Yeah, it could be considered offensively. Like, if you get good with this rifle, you can drill targets at 300 to 500 yards. And you could definitely make this an offensive rifle. But for me, with open sights at that range, that's more of a defensive rifle because I'm just doing general hitting. When you're talking about offense, you're talking about picking a very particular target. Do I want to have this? Most definitely. I would love to own this rifle. But let's wait till the next couple of videos. We'll see what the accuracy testing looks like. We'll see if I'm correct with the 1.5 to 2 MOA average group size for this. Anyway, if you'd like to check out any of my other videos, click on the links up here. If you'd like to help support the channel, I got my Patreon. I also got affiliate links in the description down below. Even if you don't buy what the link is for, just clicking on that link and doing the Amazon shopping you were going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you went there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.